How we doing, folks? It's Kelly, man, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to y'all straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Just popping onto the live to see how everybody's doing today and give y'all, how to defeat insulin resistance. We're just gonna get right into it as we always do. How we doing, folks? It's Kelly. We got a couple of cameras over here today. We're across all the world, right? We're on all of them. We're on all the socials, right? So we're everywhere. So shout out to my folks over here as well. It's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist, man. Appreciate y'all coming into the room. Admiral Britt, man. Bevel One, shout out to y'all. Just getting the live going. But my name's Kelly, for those if you don't know me. My name's Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist and a health coach. My job, my goal is to get you a good understanding of what insulin resistance is and what type 2 diabetes is and what pre-diabetes is, right? Why am I so passionate about that? Well, I'm passionate about it because I was once a type 2 diabetic. I had heart disease and I was obese. It's quite the villain, right? Since this villain we got to face, you know what I mean? But how do we defeat the villain? That's going to be the thing. Because the villain is defeatable. Who's the villain? Insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, high blood sugar, right? How did I defeat it? Well, I defeated it through the food. The food that I was eating, I figured out that's what was causing me to have high blood sugar. Man, what was I eating? I was eating a whole bunch of junk. You feel what I'm saying? When I got my diagnosis in 2020, I was eating a bunch of junk food, right? What kind of junk food? You name it. McDonald's, Burger King, you name it. Everything. Everything. And all the time. And as a result, I go into the doctor one day. Hey, listen, you've got type 2 diabetes, you've got heart disease, and you're obese. The triple whammy. So if you stick with me on this live, here's what I'm gonna. But here's the thing. I don't have those conditions anymore. But here's the thing. You stick with me on this live. Here's what I'm gonna show you how to do. I'm gonna show you how to do the exact same thing that I did, right? Kick type 2 diabetes to the curb, nip type 2 diabetes in the bud. As I say, nip it in the bud, right? That's what I'm going to show you how to do. Very first thing that we're going to get into is insulin resistance. And when y'all coming into the room, do me a favor, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know struggling with this condition. Like I said, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Very, very reversible condition, right? What do you mean it's a reversible condition? Well, a lot of people have reversed the condition, right? There's all kind of scientists and doctors writing books about this very same topic that we're talking about right now, right? Those same topic that I've coached many other people to do, right? I've coached hundreds of people on how to reverse type 2 diabetes naturally, just using the food as the medicine. Because here's the thing, I'm going to give some stats. 95% of people can do it. 95% of people can do it. But here's the thing. Only 5% of those people, well, 99% of people can do it. Only 5% of the people are going to do it. You feel what I'm saying? Very, very small percentage of people. 95% of people can reverse the condition, but there's only, 1%. 1% of people with the condition, with type 2 diabetes, with insulin resistance, will actually do something about it, right? So that's what we're going to get into. That's what my job is, folks, to get you to do something about it. Because here's the thing, you can do something about it. You can do something about it, right? You don't have to let it, you don't have to suffer with it. Why? It's because here's the thing about type 2 diabetes. Very, very easy condition to get. Also, very, very easy condition to get rid of. You feel what I'm saying? Sounds crazy, sounds far-fetched, but yeah, it's just, you just got to reverse engineer the condition. Where did it come from? Well, it's a lifestyle condition, right? So if it's a lifestyle condition, diet and lifestyle condition, how do you fix it? Well, you fix it the exact same way that you got it. It's through the food. What kind of foods? Well, it's predominantly a food diet, right? I mean, a food, it's a disease of poor nutrition. It's basically what it is. Insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes. It is a disease of poor nutrition. You fix the nutrition, like what? Well, Most of us are eating. Here's what most of us are eating that is causing the condition. Most of us are eating a lot of heavily processed foods, is what I call it, crack, right? Carbonated junk, refined sugar, artificial stuff, processed foods. Same thing that I was eating when I got my diagnosis. Exact same thing, right? But here's the thing: you just got to replace it. What did I replace it with? Real food. If you replace it with real food, whoo! When it comes to that diagnosis, you can get a whole different output. Here's the thing: if you don't like the output, that you're getting, you're gonna have to change the input. Shout out to you, Buha Patwa Hot. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. But all right, let's get into it, folks. A couple of things, the few things that I promise you by the end of this live, this is what you're gonna learn, right? So if you've been struggling with type 2 diabetes, folks, I promise you there's no one on this app who's going to give it to you the way that I'm going to give it to you, right? I'm going to break it down to you so simple on three things. What is it? How does it work? How do we fix it when it breaks? Those are the three things that we're going to uncover on this live. What is it? How does it work? How do we fix it when it breaks? But I'm here for your questions too. So any questions that you got for your boy, man, throw them in the chat. Anything related to nutritionists. Like I said, I'm a nutritionist. I'm a health coach. Wasn't always a nutritionist. Wasn't always a health coach. A few years ago, worst shape of my life. Type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and being obese. Insulin resistance. So let's get into it. Like I said, any questions that y'all got, throw them in the chat. We're just going to get right in it. What is insulin resistance? Very, very first. Well, insulin resistance is the cause of everything. You're like, well, what do you mean it's the cause of everything? It's the cause of pre-diabetes. It is the cause of type 2 diabetes. It is the cause of erectile dysfunction. It is the cause of all type 2 diabetes, high blood sugar, right? It is the cause of all these different conditions, right? So if you fix the cause, if you find out what it is and how it works and how to fix it when it breaks, man, sky's the limit. So let's get into it. Insulin resistance. What is insulin, first and foremost? Insulin is the hormone that is responsible for taking the energy and putting it into your cells for energy. Whenever you eat food, you got to have energy. You got to have energy. That's the point of eating. I know we like to break bread with friends and family and all that stuff, but that's great, breaking bread with friends and family and all of that. But here's the thing, man. That's not what eating is for. Okay? Eating is for something a little bit different, and that is to give your body the fuel that it needs to be able to go about its day. You see how I'm moving right now? This is all due to energy. All right. Type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, here's what it is. It is your body, this definition, the simplest definition I can give you. It is your body's inability to properly manage energy. That's what it is. It is your body's inability to properly manage energy. Can A1C be lowered in 1 week? Yes, it can, right? Many people who have look at some of the testimonials on my page, right? And you'll see what people are doing in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, people are lowering their A1C drastically, right? In 2 weeks, right? Crazy numbers, right? You got to listen to these stories to believe them, right? So yes, Patricia, yeah, absolutely, in a week. Yeah, absolutely, right? It takes 3 months to see the overall picture, right? 3 months to see the overall picture. But in a week, with the right food, with the right nutrition, man, you can put that thing on notice, right? Patricia Noel, good evening. Shout out to you. Good evening. Your evening, where are you located? Are you located overseas? We're in the afternoon in the United States, right? Depending on where you are in the United States. But California, maybe 11 o'clock in the morning, close to afternoon. But for the most of the United States, we're in the afternoon. You must be in a different country. Shout out to you. Just got diagnosed. This is day 5 of eating right. Shout out to you, S. Rodriguez. Shout out to you. Day 5 of eating right. Shout out to you. Just getting that diagnosis. I know how it goes, right? I know how it is. Let's get into insulin resistance. Folks, my name's Kelly. For those who just joined us, my name's Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist, health coach. But here's the thing. Wasn't always a nutritionist, wasn't always a health coach. A few years ago, type 2 diabetes, had heart disease, and I was obese. Insulin resistance. Here's what insulin resistance is. Who can tell me, folks, what happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat carbohydrates? Whenever you eat pasta, rice, lasagna, like what happens to your blood sugar? Throw it in the chat, folks. Does your blood sugar, what does it go up? Does it stay the same? Like what happens whenever you eat rice, pasta, all of that stuff? Slimy, shout out to you. It spikes, right? So when it spikes, yeah, that's it. Whenever we eat mainly ultra-processed junk, but we'll the whole Twinkies and the ding dongs and all that stuff, yeah, it spikes. It turns into blood sugar inside of your bloodstream. I eat brown, it goes up, right? I eat brown rice. Doesn't matter what kind of rice you eat, it's still gonna go up. So whether it's brown rice, whether heck, it could be black rice, it could be wild rice. At the end of the day, it's still gonna go up, right? So it really doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Don't eat the rice on an empty stomach. That's a better option. Have whatever kind of rice you want, but don't eat it on an empty stomach, period. No matter what kind of rice you eat. So when you eat the carbohydrate, it turns into energy inside of your bloodstream. Energy. That energy just goes everywhere inside of your body, everywhere. I listened to you and got better understanding about diabetes in September. A1C 6.8. Shout out to you, Jam 33564. Right, you're on the right path. Shout out to you. It turns into blood sugar. That's energy. So when your blood sugar starts to rise, 100, 200, 300, you know what I mean? 350, that's straight energy in your bloodstream. Your pancreas will notice all of the energy inside of your bloodstream. That's the job of the pancreas, is to notice the energy inside of the bloodstream. Then what happens after that? When it notices the energy, it releases insulin. Insulin, folks, very, very, very important hormone. It is responsible for taking the energy, watch this, taking the energy from the glucose that you just ate and putting it into your cells. How many cells do you have? About 40 trillion cells. Every human being has got about 40 trillion cells, rough estimate, right? We need to get that energy into the cells. That is the job, right? But to get the energy into the cell, we have to use insulin. So insulin's job is to attach to one of these little receptors right here on your 40 trillion cells, attach to the receptor and open the cell so that the energy can get inside of the cell. That is the job of insulin, folks. But that's the thing. That's how it's supposed to work. You eat food, it turns into energy. Your pancreas notices the energy, aka glucose. It releases insulin from the beta cells. Here's the beta cells, right? The beta cells are the cells inside of your pancreas that will release insulin. Insulin's job is then to attach to one of these little receptors right here, and open the cell so that the energy can come in, and then you can then that's it. That's how it goes. That's how the process goes. Now I'm at a 5.8. That changed. With that change, woo! Shout out to you. Went from a 6.8. Been listening to me. Been putting in the work. Now you're at 5.9. Shout out to you, Jam 3564. You see what you did right here? You're becoming less insulin resistant. By your A1C going down, right? You're becoming less insulin resistant. That's how the process is supposed to work. You're not supposed to be insulin resistant. The insulin is just supposed to come, knock on the door of the cell. Hey, cell, knock on the door, open the door, energy comes in. That's it. Any questions on that so far? Any questions on how the process is supposed to work when it comes to energy, when it comes to everyday life? Like everybody, you see this moving right here? This is all due to that process that I just showed you right there. That is how you get energy. Here's the thing with type 2 diabetes, though. Here's the thing with insulin resistance. Who's been told that they're insulin resistant? Put a me in the chat. Put a me in the chat if you've been told before that you are insulin resistant or you are insulin resistant. Put a me in the chat, folks. You've been told this before, that you're insulin resistant. Yup, that's right. Yup, Bondi. Yup, S. Rodriguez. Yup, insulin resistant. But why do your cells become resistant? All of a sudden, the cells will start to resist. All of a sudden, the cells start to resist. Before, everything was all fine, but now the cells are resisting. Why are they resisting? That's a good question. I was just diagnosed. How do I know for sure? How do you know for sure if you were diagnosed with, what are you diagnosed with? Type 2 diabetes? You were diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Yeah, you're for surely insulin resistant, right? Is that the question? How do you know? How do you know? Well, you go to the doctor, right? You go to the doctor and you're going to get your A1C tested. Then you're going to get your fasting insulin tested, right? Depending on what those numbers come back as, and they will determine if you are type 2 diabetic, pre-diabetic, so on and so forth. You're insulin resistant. It doesn't matter if it says pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic officially. The point is you're insulin resistant, right? That's how you know. How do you know is, again, go to your doctor, have them test your A1C. You don't want it to be above 5.7 actually, right? Your A1C, you don't want it to be above 5.7. Anything above 5.7 is in the pre-diabetic range. You don't even want it to be there. You want it to be closer to a 5, maybe like 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4. That's a good range, right? They really didn't say. My A1C is a 16.4. Oh, yeah. If your A1C is a 16.4 a week ago, yeah, that means that we want it below 5.7, right? We want it well below 5.7, you know what I mean? Close to 5. 6.5 is diabetes. 16.4 that's dangerously high. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's dangerously high. My A1C is a 9.5. 9.5 is high. That's high too. This, you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's not great. It's not great. Yeah, 16.4 is the time to act. Kimberly, is not now, but right now. If you have 6.4, that's 16.4. That's incredible. Okay. Back to the cells resisting. Let's get back to it. The cells are resisting, but the question is, why are the cells resisting? Well, the cells are resisting the insulin. The cells are resisting the insulin, folks, because of two reasons. 9.5, 5.8 gems speak. I'm so scared, y'all. It's time to put in the work. Kimberly, don't be afraid. It's time to put in the work, right? Right? If you got to that point where you feel that fear, yeah, that means, you know what that means? It's time to put in work. That's what it means. It's full. Yeah, it's in damage. Yeah, it's full, right? That's it. The cells are full. Number one, the cells are full. Number two is the insulin has come around too much. So insulin's come knocking on the door too much to try to open up the door of the cell. The cell says, you know what? Nah, we're already full of energy. And number two, you've come around too much. You've come a knocking too much. So as a result, we are going to start to resist you. That's what the cells are starting to do. They'll build up a tolerance to it. It's kind of like, you know what I mean, the boy who cried wolf. You've heard that before. The fable of the boy who cried wolf. Too many times saying wolf, 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 but the wolf wasn't really there. You know what I mean? It's the same thing when it comes to insulin resistance. Insulin resistance works like, hey, you keep coming around, insulin. Pretty soon, we already told you we're full. And then pretty soon, we just ain't going to listen to you anymore, right? You can come around, but we ain't going to listen. So that's what the cells are doing now. All 40 trillion of your cells are saying, nope. So the pancreas is like, what? The pancreas overhears this, and the pancreas says, okay, if the cells are resisting, I've still got energy in my bloodstream. We need to get the energy into the bloodstream. So the pancreas just starts pumping harder and 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 harder. What's up, Dragon Annie? So it's pumping harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. Right? That's what it's doing. Pumping harder. Trying to get more insulin to force the door of the cells open. That's what's happening. But the cells have, like I said, they resist it. So it's like a push-pull battle between the cells and the pancreas. They're just going back and forth right here. Cells, pancreas, cells, pancreas. They're just doing this all day long. All day long. Why are they doing that? Because we're continuing to load up on the junk food, right? If we eat a lot of junk food, if we eat a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of ultra-processed carbohydrates, man, it's going to cause our blood sugar to go a little bit wacky. And this push-pull battle is just going to keep on going and 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 going. So if this is making sense to y'all folks on what insulin resistance is, right, we're going to break it down a little bit more. But this is the process of why your cells are starting to resist. This is how it's supposed to work. So if this is making sense to y'all, put a health yes in the chat. Put a health yes in the chat if this is making sense to y'all. Insulin damaged the mitochondria. Yes, insulin does damage the mitochondria, right? Well, not insulin. Too much energy inside of the bloodstream. Too much energy in your cells are damaging the mitochondria, right? Mitochondria are the little energy powerhouses. It's the thing inside of these cells, right? We didn't even get that deep into it, but inside of these cells, they've got energy, right? They're little nuclear power plants. That's what they are, called mitochondria. They give you energy. But sometimes your mitochondria, they get overworked. That's why you're always tired, right? You ever see people who have insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, they're always tired, right? It's because the cells can't get the energy that they need. Yep, health yes. Yep, I'm eating chicken and vegetables. Is that okay? Yeah, chicken and vegetables is fantastic, right? It's fantastic for keeping your blood sugar stable. So yeah, absolutely, right? What kind of vegetables though, right? You want to do the vegetables, you want to do the non-starchy veggies, right? If you need the veggie list, you can grab the ultimate veggie guide in that link in my bio, right? There are onions, bell peppers, mushrooms. These are great, right? Non-starchy veggies. These are what you want. Fasting. Yeah, you can do fasting, right? But here's the thing about fasting. You got to train yourself to fast. You ain't just going to wake up one day and be like, yo, I'm severely insulin resistant like this and decide to fast, right? The more insulin resistant you are, the less you want to fast, right? You want to ease yourself into fasting. Fasting is great. It's great for keeping your insulin levels low, right? It's great for that. But if you're not metabolically flexible, it's going to be terrible for you. People are going to get hangry. People are going to get cravings. People are going to get all of this stuff. You know what I mean? Is it possible to have cake on B days, like one slice without crashing out, right? Yeah. It's about what you do most of the time, Ghost. It's about what you do most of the time that matters the most. That's what matters the most. If you are eating cake all the time, right? No. You eating cake like 90% of the time. No. You can do some cake, right? 10% of the time. Go out and have a little good, celebrate. But be careful with it, right? Use caution when it comes to the cake. You ain't just waking up and just eating some cake by itself, some cake with some other stuff. It's gonna send your blood sugar real high. You make sure you want to pair it with a healthy fat or healthy protein, or just eat the cake, as a dessert, as is prescribed. Never eat the cake on an empty stomach by itself. Don't do that. 16-8. Well, again, 16 when it comes to the fasting. When it comes to fasting, I recommend 12 hours at first. 12 hours for if you have severe insulin resistance like this, like I had, if you have severe insulin resistance, trying to go 16-8, it's going to be tough. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. For most people, that's going to be tough. Start off with 12 hours, then go 13, then go 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Pairing protein and a small treat like a cake once in a while. Yep, exactly. Once in a while, right? Like 10% of the time, 10% or less. 10% or less will be ideal, right? Moderation is key. Shout out to you, Dragon Annie. My father is 54 with diabetes and has had heart bypass surgery a month ago. Can he start the gym? That's going to be between him and his doctor, right? I'm not his doctor, right? That's going to be him and his doctor, right? Had heart bypass surgery, yeah. That's going to be him and his doctor, right? Somebody said Darius scary, yeah. Nightwing swag, you've been on my live before, so you know about Dairy. Yeah. Dairy is scary. If you're insulin resistant, dairy is going to be real scary because your body's already fighting. You feel what I'm saying? My father is 54 and had diabetes and heart bypass a month ago. Yeah. Start the gym. Oh, dairy is scary. I already did that one. Yep. Dairy is very scary. Any vegetables that bring down sugar. The vegetables don't necessarily bring down the sugar, but the best ones to eat are the non-starchy veggies, right? They can raise your blood sugar a little bit, but they're non-starchy veggies. So they're mushrooms, bell peppers, onions, cauliflower, broccoli, cucumbers, celery. These are non-starchy veggies. These are great. These are what you want, right? If you want a list of those non-starchy veggies, you can grab the Ultimate Veggie Guide. If you're new to my live, you go to the Ultimate Veggie Guide. You grab it out of my bio. It's linked in my bio. The Ultimate Veggie Guide is absolutely free. Thanks for joining my live. That is free to you, for you to take with you to the store, take with you on the phone. What is those veggies Kelly said? I don't remember. Check them out, right? The Ultimate Veggie Guide. I gave up dairy. Yeah, shout out to you. Yeah, because dairy is scary, right? Yeah, you're right. Now, how long did you give up dairy? Because I talked about it, because I know dairy is scary. You know, I love saying that. So, or do you just give up dairy on your own? But shout out to you. My A1C was a 7.1, made some changes 6 months ago, later 5.7. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Switch to coconut or coffee. Switch to coconut or for coffee. Oh, coconut water. I mean, coconut milk for coffee. I get it. This is what you switch to. Got it. Why is dairy dangerous? Because if you're insulin resistant, let me see if I got any more. Because if you're insulin resistant, then here's the thing: dairy is scary because your body's already fighting. You're already insulin resistant. You don't want to add an outside source like something like dairy, which is foreign. Dairy is foreign to the body, right? So, and it also causes you to be more insulin resistant. Causes you to produce more hormones like insulin, like growth factor number 1. Like, you don't want them. Basically, I'm saying all that to say it makes things grow inside of your body, right? So it makes insulin resistance grow. It makes fat cells grow. It makes a lot of things. It makes cancer cells grow, right? So that's what your body, and your body's already fighting. You don't want all that. You know what I mean? You're already fighting. So that's why dairy is scary. Is sweet potatoes bad? Sweet potatoes are bad if you eat them on an empty stomach. No, sweet potatoes are great if you eat them, if you pair them correctly, right? If you pair them with a healthy fat or healthy protein, right? You want to do that last. Healthy fat like an avocado or healthy fat, yeah, like an avocado, right? That's a healthy fat. Or some chia seeds, right? That's a healthy fat. But never ever eat a sweet potato by itself. Eat the sweet potato last on your plate. You go, Justin. Shout out to Justin. For giving up the dairy, I think was the thing, right? But yeah, nuts are healthy fat, right? Nuts are healthy fat, right? Almonds, pistachios, cashews. You got to be a little bit careful with the cashews because those are higher in carbohydrates. But yeah, pecans, pecans. I say pecans. Some people say pecans. I don't know what you say. But yeah, any questions so far on insulin resistance? Pumpkin seeds. Yeah, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are great, right? Pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, right? Yeah, those are great. Fantastic. Those are fantastic. Any questions on insulin resistance? We're going to keep it moving then. Who has trouble losing weight? Is cinnamon good herbs? Cinnamon's great, right? Cinnamon's great for increasing your insulin sensitivity. So cinnamon is great. I make this little cinnamon tea. Woo! What do I put in that tea? Cinnamon, squeeze a little bit of lemon in there, put some apple cider vinegar in there, fill it up with some water, mix it around. Man, that's a great tea. You feel what I'm saying? Cinnamon, all that stuff. Cinnamon, apple cider vinegar. Great. Watch their lives in the background. Justin Huggins says, watch their lives in the background at the beginning of my journey. Thanks for the help. Shout out to you, Justin. How are you now, right? Since the beginning of your journey, when would your journey start? So shout out to you. Shout out to you for watching the lives and then putting in the work, right? I hope you put in the work, right? That's the most important thing. So shout out to you. Yo, walnuts. Walnuts are great, right? Healthy fat. Walnuts. Yep, I do. I also have hypothyroidism. Yep. But if you got hypothyroidism as well, here's the thing. Nip the insulin resistance in the bud first. Everything else comes into play. You feel what I'm saying? Everything else, all the other hormones start to get in the line because insulin is the master hormone, right? It's the choreographer of all other hormones, right? It's the gatekeeper, right? It's got like 1,000 jobs in the body. So if it's off, all the other hormones are going to be off as well. So if you fix the insulin, the other hormones start to get in line. You feel what I'm saying? I'm feeling tired a lot. Yeah, because type 2 diabetes is an energy disease. That's what it is. It is a disease of the energy. If you have insulin resistance, you're gonna have terrible energy. So you're gonna be tired and you're gonna be hungry, which we're gonna talk about next. I feel tired a lot. Yep. Right. People who are doing my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge within days 3, day 4, right? That's when the energy starts to come back. Listen to some of these people's testimonials, people who are joining this challenge and actually did the work. Man, it's crazy. It's a challenge, right? It's a challenge, right? It's simple, but it's a challenge. These people ain't feeling tired no more. They're back to it. I use cinnamon and hot water. It's great. Yep. Shout out to you, August. Yep. Oh, August. Since August is when you. Yeah. And then what kind of progress have you gotten since August, Justin? Yeah. Same guy with the 7.1. Oh yeah. I think you did say that. 7.7 A1C to a 5.7 and lost 80 pounds. If I can do it, anyone can. So Justin, man, you've lost 80 pounds since you started listening to me and putting in the work. You've lost 80 pounds and your A1C went from a 7.1 to a 5.7. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling me? 80 pounds, right? Since August, just putting in the work. That's me. Y'all, if y'all do one thing, listen to what Kelly is telling you. Shout out to Dragon Annie. Dragon Annie's down what? What are you down? Damn near 40 pounds. You down like since November, Dragon Annie? Right? A1C from a 10.8 to a 5.8. Man, shout out to both of y'all. Shout out to both of y'all. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. For doing that, right? 36 pounds down. 36 pounds since November, right? Been listening to me, been putting in the work. Shout out to you, Dragon Annie, right? You're one of those select few, right? It's a select few of people, right? If I talk to 100 people, there's only 1, maybe 2 people that are ready to get outside of their comfort zone a little bit and do what it takes to actually nip type 2 diabetes in the bud. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, Justin, man, shout out to you. Shout out to you, Justin. Anytime you want to come on and tell that story, man, I love these stories, right? And so if you want to come on the live, you want to tell the story, hey, if you want to come on right now, you can come on right now. You can share that story about how you lost 80 pounds. Because 80 pounds is, whoo, that's like the second highest, right? Someone lost 100 pounds. My guy, Matthew, lost 100 pounds in 6 months. You're right there with him too. 80 pounds, man. That's incredible. Just by listening to some words that I'm saying and putting in the work. It's incredible. Shout out to you. I'm anemic and pre-diabetic. It's time to work. Yeah, it is time to work, right? It is time to put in the work, right? Just like Justin did and just like Dragon Annie did. Right? It's time to put in the work, right? If you need help with the work, you need direction, you need guidance, join the challenge, right? Look into joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Is there a guide? I'd like to try the 14-day challenge. Yep, the 14-day challenge is linked in my bio, right? It is a digital program. It's all digital, right? It's a digital product. All you got to do is press play. You press play on that 14-day challenge. You press play. It's linked in my bio. Press play. You show up. You do the work. You do it again the next day. At the end of those 14 days, your life will never look the same, right? Your blood sugar ain't going to look the same. Let me say that, right? Your life is going to be your life, but your blood sugar is never going to look the same, right? If you join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's all linked in my bio. Where is it? It's linked in my bio. So if you click here, you click on my picture again. So there's the ultimate veggie guide. There's a couple of things on my page, right? There's the ultimate veggie guide. And then there's the 14-day challenge as well. Since September, A1C is a 12. It's Blondie. Since September, A1C was a 12. It's a 6 now. I've lost 60 pounds just by listening to you. Thank you. Shout out to you, man. You guys are y'all are all over the chat today, right? All over the chat with all these amazing results that y'all are getting. So shout out to y'all, man. That's incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Where do you get the challenge? Here's where you get the challenge. So if you click here and then you click on my picture again, right? So shout out to you. Yeah, shout out to you. It's incredible, right? But here's all the goodies. All the goodies are here. Oops. Press right there. That's where all the goodies are, folks. The ultimate veggie guide. That's the guide, all right? People asking about the guide. That's the guide. That's the ultimate veggie guide. All the veggies that I talked about, that's all right here. The ultimate veggie guide. Absolutely free. That's my gift to you for joining my live. There is a masterclass here. If you haven't registered for the masterclass, register for that, right? Free masterclass where I break down the lifestyle medicine formula to defeat type 2 diabetes. And that's all free stuff, but the big one's right here, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is the one that folks, 500 people have joined, this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Start nipping insulin resistance in the bud, right? People have incredible stories. Incredible stories. Listen to some of the testimonials on my page on what's happening to these people and how their lives have changed forever, right? In just 14 days. Okay. That's what I did. I designed it, right? I designed a whole new way of eating. Like, you're never going to see eating like this ever before. People are like, well, how did you develop this form of eating? It's like, well, because I ate like this when I reversed the condition, right? I ate like this. That's what you can expect. You can expect things to be a little bit different. You're still going to be full. You're still going to get all of that stuff back. We kicking these cravings. That's what we're doing. But you got to be ready, though. You got to be ready to take control of your blood sugar. If you're ready to take control of your blood sugar, the next steps are going to be simple. It is to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use that discount code, PROGRESS. PROGRESS is the live discount code to join the challenge at 20% off, right? All the other stuff's free, but the challenge is reserved for those folks who are seriously ready. Like, I'm not even joking, right? I know, I come on the lives and I say, but I'm like, I interviewed someone yesterday, actually, and they gave their testimonial, and beautiful testimonial. Thank you, Jermaine, for letting me interview on your amazing testimonial. But here's the thing. Here's what he said as well. He said, you're going to get some great results, but you got to be, he said, you got to be ready. You got to be at that point where you're, enough's enough. You put all the excuses to the side and you just say, what is it that I got to do? Because I've been dealing with this condition for way too long. Maybe it's been 5 years. Maybe it's been 10 years. Maybe you're just newly diagnosed. You know what I mean? Maybe you're newly diagnosed and you're feeling like, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to eat. I don't know what to do. None of that stuff. I don't know. If you don't know where to start, you start right here. I've got everything that you need on my page. I've got information. And then I've got transformation, right? Information is what I'm giving you right now, how insulin resistance works and all that stuff. Transformation, I've had that as well, right? That's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That's where you start. You start with you can start with the information, or you can start with the transformation. The transformation is the only thing that you got to invest in that I'm going to charge you for, but everything else is free, right? The challenge is $79 if you use the discount code of PROGRESS. PROGRESS is the discount code for joining that challenge at $79. My husband is on insulin. Can he ever heal himself? Tracy, type 2. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for asking that, Tracy. Here's what happens. If your husband is if he's a type 2 diabetic, and if he's on insulin, here's what happened. Here's what's happening. He has too much insulin. That's what insulin resistance is, right? He has too much insulin. That's why you become resistant to it. You don't become resistant to something if you got too little. How do you stop the insulin resistance? How do you I'm not a doctor, it's not medical advice, but here's the thing. I want you to ask your doctor this, like, hey, doc, if I'm already insulin resistant, why are you prescribing me more insulin if I'm already insulin resistant? So I've got too much. Here's how you do it. You lay off the gas. Right? You want to reduce the insulin in your body. You want to reduce the need for too much insulin. You lay off the gas, Tracy. You're like, what do you mean lay off the gas? Well, it comes back to the food that you're eating. The food that you're eating is the input, right? If you're eating too many ultra processed foods, too much cake, too much ice cream, too much cookies, too much sugar, too much sodas, too much, you're just going overboard with that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's going to cause your blood sugar to go high, which causes your pancreas to release a lot of insulin. right? If you have to get prescribed more insulin from the outside, here's what that means. That means that the pancreas is overworked. It's overworked, that's all. You just need to take your foot off the gas. Take your foot off the gas, things will start to, you know what I mean, level out. You think he could not need, here's the thing, I'm meds. Here's the thing, I'm not a doctor, it's not medical advice, right? But I just want you to listen to some of these people's stories on my page. Listen to some of their stories. That's all I'll say. Listen to some of their stories, and their stories are just like your husband's, right? They're just like his. He's got to be willing to do the work. If he's willing to do the work, absolutely. Absolutely, right? Because here's the thing, type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle-driven condition, right? It's caused by your diet and lifestyle, right? It's not a disease of too much medication, right? You don't have a glyphosate deficiency, or you don't have a metformin deficiency. You know, what you've got a deficiency in is eating real food, eating real, whole, unprocessed foods. You fix that little deficiency right there, man, insulin resistance goes out the window, right? How do I contact you? Also, all linked in my bio, right? So if you click here, you click on my picture again, there's a lot of different ways to contact me. You can book a call, right? You can send me a DM, right? You can send me a DM as well. You can contact me through DM. I'll reply to your DM, right? So yeah, that's how you can contact me, right? I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. All right. Insulin resistance. Going once, insulin resistance going twice. It all goes back to this, folks, just laying off the gas. The same way that I did it, you just got to lay off the gas. For those who just joined us, I'm going to show you when I was insulin resistant, when I had a lot of weight on me. You see this? This is called insulin resistance, folks. That's what it is. You see that? Blood sugar 227. Yeah, if your blood sugar is 227, the time to act is not now, but right now. Right? Because that's high. You see that? That's called insulin resistance. I couldn't lose the weight no matter how hard I tried. I couldn't lose the weight. No matter how hard I tried. I couldn't lose it. Because insulin, here's the thing. Insulin is also a fat storage hormone. You see that? When I had type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, I couldn't lose the weight. But the second I got rid of the insulin resistance through the food that I was eating, next thing you know, the weight fell off. So who has trouble losing weight? Put me in the chat if you've got trouble losing weight. You've got insulin resistance. You've been told you're insulin resistant, or you have type 2 diabetes. Who has trouble losing weight? Put me in the chat. Put me in the chat. Blood sugar 227. Yeah, that's hot, boss. Put me in the chat. Anybody have trouble losing weight? Okay. Here's the thing, though. None of y'all have trouble losing weight, but most people who have insulin resistance, most people who have type 2 diabetes, not this group, though, but most people, most people have a lot of trouble losing weight. The reason that they can't lose the weight is because insulin, they've got too much insulin in their body. And insulin is a fat storage hormone. You will never, and I mean never, be able to lose the weight. You'll never be able to lose the weight if you are insulin resistant. Because insulin is a fat storage hormone. So here's how it works. Your cells start to resist the insulin. So the energy has to go somewhere. It gets stored as fat in your body. It gets stored as fat. That's why, you know what I mean, you can't lose the weight. That's what the love handles, that's what all that stuff is. That's fat inside of your body, right? That's stored energy. That's what fat is. It's stored energy. Eggs and avocado for breakfast. That's a good option, right? That's a good savory breakfast. Yep. Me, because of back pain, it's hard for me to do a setup, right? Yep. Here's the thing. People who join my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, people have lost 19 pounds. Someone lost 19 pounds in 14 days. Someone lost 17 pounds in 14 days. So a bunch of people lost 15 pounds in 14 days. So here's the thing. The thing ain't even a weight loss freaking challenge. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't even a weight loss challenge, but the people are losing weight. Why? Because once the insulin comes down, the fat comes down. The body's not in storage mode anymore. I'm not gaining. I'm stuck at the same weight. Yeah, you could be stuck at the same weight. You could be gaining, like you could be stuck at the same weight no matter how hard you try, and you can't lose the weight. It's all due to this little process right here. If you've got too much insulin, you'll never be able to lose the weight. Right? Some people, you know what I mean? They can work out all day, every day. Their weight may stay the same. They may not gain any weight, but they damn sure ain't losing any. Let me say that. Yeah. So insulin is a fat storage hormone. So that is why you cannot lose the weight. Where does it store the fat? Well, it stores the fat around your liver first. It stores it around, first it's your liver, then it goes to your muscles, then it goes to your fat cells. That's where the fat gets stored. The energy, it gets stored there. But here's where the problem comes in. Once we become insulin resistant, our liver starts to get too much fat in it. And when our liver starts to get too much fat in it, that's when the spillage happens. All that stuff spills over. It's called visceral fat. And when visceral fat spills over, man, that's when it's like a domino effect. So it spills over from your liver. Then it goes to your pancreas, right? And it starts clogging all this fat, right? We're talking about. Then it starts clogging up all of the cells in the pancreas. So it's making it harder for you to produce more insulin, right? All because it's clogged. And then it spills over to your small intestines, and then it spills over into your heart. That's why people have heart disease, right? I had heart disease as well. Why people have heart disease and people have type 2 diabetes at the same time, right? That's why atherosclerosis, right? What is atherosclerosis? That is hardening of the arteries. You feel what I'm saying? Or atherosclerosis. They're all connected. Insulin, fatty liver, they're all connected to insulin resistance. So insulin resistance is running freaking everything. Next part of the formula. Losing, who gets tired, folks? You get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings. You get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings. Put a me in the chat. If you get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings. Tired, hungry, cravings. Who gets tired? Who gets hungry? Who gets cravings? Put a me in the chat. Because I know someone said earlier, I think someone said that earlier, why am I always tired? Well, who wants to know why they're always tired? Maybe this group, and then maybe it's not this group. But here's the thing. Talk to a lot of groups. And most of the people who are in the room who have type 2 diabetics, they're going to get one of these three things. Or if they have insulin resistance, or if they're a pre-diabetic, they're going to get one of these three things. One of the three. Either they're going to be tired, either they're going to be hungry, or they're going to get cravings. One of the three. That's it. Tired, hungry, cravings. Those are the three things that they're going to get. Why are you tired? Well, you're tired because type 2 diabetes is an energy disease. So your body knows that it can only get energy. It can get energy from the food. So it's why you're hungry 90 minutes later. When you go into fat storage mode, which is 90 minutes, about 90 minutes after you eat, 90 minutes to 2 hours, you're like, man, why am I hungry again? Put a me in the chat. If about 90 minutes after you eat, you're like, damn, I get tired. I get hungry again, right? Who gets tired about 90 minutes after they eat? Like you eat and you're like, damn, I'm tired, man. Put a me in the chat. Because that's usually how it goes. Because when your body goes into fat storage mode, you automatically get tired. Why? It's because your body put the energy away as fat. It can't use it. So it put it away as fat in the meantime. Meanwhile, your cells are still hungry. Your cells are still hungry. So that's why you get hungry cravings 90 minutes after you eat, because your cells are still hungry, because you can't use the energy from the food that you just ate. So you get hungry again. You feel what I'm saying? Tired, okay. Hungry, same thing. Tired, hungry. Reason that you get hungry, or let's say sleepy, the reason you get tired is because you're like, I need energy. So you're like, I don't have any energy because the fuel can't get into my cells. So I get hungry. So I get sleepy. And then you get tired. I mean, you get hungry 90 minutes later because Your cells don't have any energy. So that's why you're hungry. That's why you're tired. It's an energy disease. And then finally, cravings. Here it is. Craving sweets. There it is. All right, craving sweets. Want to know why you're craving sweets? Well, you're craving sweets because that is what type 2 diabetes is. It's an energy disease. And sweets is the quickest form of energy that you can get. And your body knows it. Your body knows that sweets are the quickest form of energy that you can get, folks. And do me a favor, bebop that screen, double tap that screen, folks, and then share this live out with anybody you know struggling with insulin resistance, right? We're going to put insulin resistance to bed in 2026. So do me a favor, double tap that screen, bebop that screen, and share this live out with anybody you know that's struggling with this condition. But back to cravings. So that's why you get cravings, because you need the quickest form of energy. Your body's like, I don't have any energy, so give me the quickest form of energy that I can get, which is sugar. You crave Ho-Ho Twinkies, Ding Dongs. You crave all of that stuff, right? Crave it all. Snicker bars, ice cream, sodas. Crave it all. And when you crave it all, the reason that you crave it is because you don't have any energy. So you crave the quickest form of energy that you can get. So here's what happens. You repeat. You go satisfy those cravings, right? You go satisfy those sugar cravings. And then what happens? Stuff gets crazy again. You go eat junk. You go eat those sugar again. It turns into glucose. Your pancreas will kick into high gear, trying to release more insulin due to combat the glucose. Your cells will start to resist because it's come around too much. And then you store fat. That's what happens next. And then you get tired. You get hungry. You get cravings. And then you go satisfy those cravings. You get tired. You get hungry. You get cravings. You go satisfy those cravings. That's it. And then the cycle starts over again. And you do this literally every day. Every day. You do this every day. That's insulin resistance. That's how insulin resistance worsens over time. You go satisfy your cravings, you'll get more sugar. Your glucose goes high. Your pancreas will notice all of the glucose, release more and more insulin. Your cells will start to resist. You store fat, you get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings. You go satisfy the cravings, and the process just repeats. And you do this every day. And as a result, what happens? You become more and more and more insulin resistant. So if this is making sense to y'all folks on what insulin resistance is, put a healthy yes in the chat. Put a healthy yes in the chat. If you understand now what is going on inside of your body as a type 2 diabetic or someone who has insulin resistance, put a healthy yes in the chat, folks. Healthy yes, throw it in the chat just to make sure that I'm on the right track. And then shout out to those folks, man. Shout out to those folks for coming on and saying the improvements that they've made in a matter of like, 6 months, 8 months. And I mean, people have lost 80 pounds. It's incredible, man. And I love these stories. I love these stories when people come on the live, and a lot of people I never even met before, right? I never even met the folks before, right? A lot of folks, and they just say, hey, listen, man, I get DMs all the time. Hey, listen, man, you changed my life, man. You saved my life. I'm like, well, what happened? They were like, man, I just jumped on your lives and I started doing the work. All right, started doing the work. No, we just got here. Yeah, so if you just got here, we just finished insulin resistance. We broke it all the way down, right? Catch me on another live when I go over insulin resistance again. But essentially, this is what insulin resistance is. It is your body's inability to properly manage energy. That's what insulin resistance is. That's why you're always tired. It's why you're always hungry. It's why you're always craving sugar, because your cells can't uptake the energy. Your cells can't use the energy. So energy stays out in the bloodstream, 200, 300, 400, right? That's what happens. That's what happens. This is insulin resistance, folks. Any questions on insulin resistance? Because we're going to get out of here. We have shorter lives nowadays. We have shorter lives now, folks. Our lives are a little bit shorter. We come on, you know what I mean? Get straight to it, let y'all know what's happening, then we get out of here, right? Come on, answer your questions. So any questions that you got for me? Food. What kind of food should we be eating to combat insulin resistance? Well, in the morning time, you always want to eat a savory breakfast. Savory breakfast first thing in the morning. What's a savory breakfast? Something like chicken, broccoli, avocado. That's a savory breakfast. A chicken, broccoli, avocado. That's a savory breakfast. What are some food to lose belly fat? It's not necessarily about using specific food to lose belly fat, right? But if you want some specific foods to, you can't like necessarily target the belly fat like that. But if you're talking visceral fat, you just want to get that fat off your organs. Non-starchy veggies, right? Non-starchy veggies. Here's an example. Like I said, a savory breakfast. Chicken. It could be chicken. It could be broccoli. It could be an avocado, right? And beans. Beans are going to be, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, a lot of belly fat, right? Visceral fat. Beans are going to be your best friend, right? What's the 14-day challenge? 14-day challenge is a nutritional blueprint. It is designed by me, a guy who had diabetes, had heart disease, and I was obese, all three of those. I reversed the condition. What I did is I put together a little package called the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. What food should we be? It's a system, right? I designed it. You show up, you do the work, you do it again the next day. All the food's designed for you. Everything's designed for you. All the menus designed for you. You literally just got to show up, press play right here. You press play. You follow the instructions. You do the work. At the end of those, you eat the food, okay? All the food's designed. It's delicious food. Don't get me wrong. It's delicious food. Lots of beans, lots of non-starchy veggies, lots of, you do chicken, steak, eggs. We're just going to change the order in which you eat the food, right? I told you I designed it. Very, very specific design on how to eat the food. You eat the food this very, very specific way for 14 days. At the end of those 14 days, you're going to look back and be like, yo, is this my blood sugar or is this somebody else's blood sugar? Right? That's what you're going to say. Is this mine or is this somebody else's blood sugar? Yeah. Diabetic dad, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Keep saying people. Keep saving people. Shout out to you, diabetic dad, man. His program, it works. I trust him. Shout out to you. That's my guy. That's my guy, diabetic dad, man. Y'all know my guy, diabetic dad, man. Shout out to you. I eat egg whites and toast for breakfast with avocado. Is that okay? No egg whites, yeah. But we're gonna get it. We're gonna. If we can stay away from the toast, stay away from the toast as much as you possibly can, right? Stay away from the toast as much as you possibly can. Oh, especially in the morning time. For those folks who are wanting to join the challenge, right? Looking into join the challenge, or have gotten to that point where they're ready to get outside of their comfort zone just for a little bit, 14 days, and do something a little bit different. Those folks that have had it up to here with insulin resistance, because a lot of people have had it up to right here with insulin resistance, right? It ain't gotten bad enough yet for them to actually take any real action. But for some people, it's gotten to the point insulin resistance has gotten so high, the pain and the misery of it has gotten so bad that those people are ready for change. Those are the people who have joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Been over 500 people who have joined this challenge. All right, people come on the lives all the time and they share their story. Like you heard some of them today, right? How people lose 80 pounds, all this stuff. You ain't losing 80 pounds in 14 days, but this is the start of it. Okay? This is the start of it. Right? And it's not a weight loss challenge, by the way. It's a blood sugar challenge. But when you fix the blood sugar, you fix the insulin, which causes your numbers to go down, which causes you to lose weight. 19 pounds is the record. 19 pounds in 14 days. The highest. Here it is right here. It's linked in my bio. It's a lot of goodies as well. It's a whole bunch of goodies. The Ultimate Veggie Guide, you know it. The webinar, you know it. It's all the goodies are there, but this one's the big one right here. The 14-day challenge. This one is for my folks, for a select few people, right? Few people who have gotten to say that, you know what? Yeah, that's me. That's me. You're talking to me. I've gotten to the point where change is not just desired; it's downright necessary. I've gotten to the point where I'm ready to kick insulin resistance to the curb. You got to be ready to take control. If you're ready to take control, if you need a blueprint, oh, just my timer. We're getting out of here. You need a blueprint. If you need structure, if you need support, this 14-day challenge is it. It's normally $99 to join the challenge. You use the discount code PROGRESS. PROGRESS is the discount code to join the challenge at 20% off. $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, right? Yeah, I'm gonna try this, right? There's a lot of people who have done the challenge, right? You just show up, you do the work, you do it again, and you do it again the next day. You ain't worry about anything, right? Listen to some of these people's testimonials. Go to my page. Here's what you do. Go to my page and listen. Click right here. See where it's right here? You click right here. And you listen to these people's testimonials, these people who have joined the challenge. You listen to their stories. Some of the most incredible stories I've ever heard in my life. Right? I'm the guy interviewing them, right? I thought my story was crazy on how I made my transformation. Like, no, their stories are like crazy. It's like something straight out of a comic book when it comes to these stories with people who have joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You want to join the challenge, you use that discount code PROGRESS. If I don't have a bit of starch, my blood sugar drops. If I don't have a bit of starch, my blood sugar drops. Okay, I get it. So you're saying that you got to have carbohydrates all the time. Is that what you're saying? A bit of starch, right? It all comes back to the same thing. If your blood sugar is always dropping, this comes back to the same thing, right? You got to flatten the glucose curve. So whether it's down or whether it's up, right? You still got to improve the insulin resistance. You improve the insulin resistance by the quality of food that you're eating. You do that, man, sky's the limit, right? But no, technically, you don't necessarily need starch. Technically, no human being technically needs starch because your body they're great to have. Starches are great to have, right? But we don't need them. It's kind of like the analogy I like we can, a certain amount is good. A certain amount is good, right? But too much is bad. It's kind of like a flower. If you give a flower too much water, then the flower can drown. But if you give the right amount of water, the flower thrives. The same thing with carbohydrates. What if you don't lose the weight? It's not about losing the weight, right? It's about getting yourself healthy, Angie. That's what it's about, right? Losing the weight may be one of the effects that happen with it. Everybody's different. Your body's going to do what it does. The point is you want to get that fat off of your organs, right? And then once you become more insulin sensitive, once you get yourself off of the blood sugar roller coaster, insulin levels start to come down. Now you can gain the weight back naturally, right? Gain the weight back naturally. But the step number one is to get all the fat off of your organs. So if you lose a little weight along the way, hey, so be it. It's whatever it takes to get yourself healthy, right? But you're doing it the natural way anyway, so you're all good. So you may not want to lose weight, but your body's when your body's healing, it's going to do whatever the hell it wants to do. So whether it's losing weight or whether it's maybe staying the same, but it's going to do what the hell it's going to do. You know what I mean? Just get yourself healthy. That's step number one. Yeah. All right. Any other questions, folks? Any other questions before we get out of here? My name is Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist, man. It's been great for y'all joining my live today. I'll be back, probably back tomorrow. Probably be my last live ever on TikTok. So send this, shoot it out to your friends, right? Shoot it out to your friends because maybe I'll put out a little something. But yeah, tomorrow is probably going to be my last live ever on TikTok because we're changing the business, folks. TikTok is we're pivoting, right? All right, TikTok it's been a little bit. It doesn't like my content lately, right? Because my content's a little bit. I've been getting some messages like, "Hey, your content is a little bit too real for TikTok." You feel what I'm saying? It's a little bit too real, so as a result, we're going to shut you down. So that's kind of what's going on. People are getting amazing results. People are getting taken off their medications and all kinds of stuff, right? People come on and share their stories, right? TikTok's like, I don't like that, bro. So as a result, tomorrow's probably gonna be my last live. But shout out to y'all. It's Kelly. You're certified. Tomorrow, what time am I gonna be on tomorrow? Here's the thing. I don't know what time I'm gonna be on tomorrow. I'll probably be on in tomorrow. In the afternoon. In the afternoon. I'll be on in the afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon. Let's go for 12:30. 12:30 Central Time, 1:30 Eastern Time. I'll be back on tomorrow. Same bat time, around the same time tomorrow. We'll be back on. Right. Yeah. But here's the thing though. I might be leaving TikTok, but I'm still on all the other ones, right? We're over here, look, right. We're over here on the other socials, right? We're on YouTube, we're on the Facebooks, we're everywhere, right? We're gonna be we everywhere. We all over the place. 12:30, yeah, 12:30 Central Time. 12:30 Central Time. I might come back on every once in a while. You feel what I'm saying? But we used to be on every day motivating you guys, but TikTok is like, nah, they say your content, bro, it's a little bit too authentic. Since they took over, since January 22nd, they took over, they were like, nah, America took over, they're like, nah, bro, like the results you're getting for people, you see how people come on and share these stories, it's just like, nah, bro, we can't have that. This is America. But yeah, shout out to America. But 12:30 tomorrow, folks. I'm sorry, that's terrible. You were probably saving. That's the point, right? That's the point, right? A lot of people have come. A lot of people come meet me, and a lot of people come do my programs. A lot of people change their life for the better. A lot of people get taken off of their medication. Jubilee. A lot of people lose weight. A lot of people, like I said, like taken off of their medication by their doctor. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice, but a lot of people do my challenges, do my programs, and at the end, a lot of them have been taken off of their medicine when they do it right, when they follow the directions, right? When they get coached by me, when they do this, when they do that, they get taken off of their medicine. And these people come on the live and they share their stories. And TikTok is like, nah, bro, like it's a little bit too authentic. It's a little bit too authentic. We can't have that. So as a result, we take you up out of here. No, this message is not going out to anybody anymore. Nope. So they send me basically let me know that's kind of what's happening. I'm sorry, you're probably saving lives. Shout out to you. You saved my life. I can't thank you enough. See, shout out to you, Blondie. Shout out to you. When people said save their Blondie, when people say stuff like that, save my life, man, I love to jump on a call with you. If you're open to it, jump on a call with me. I love to interview you. Get your story, right? Add it to the testimonials page. There's a lot of testimonials out here. People just like you saying the exact same thing. You saved my life, right? So when I hear words like you saved my life or you changed my life, interview, right? Are you on another platform? Yeah, I'm gonna be on all the other platforms, right? I'm on all the other. I'm over there right now. So if you click on my page, there's right there. It's gonna tell you where all the socials are. It's gonna tell you where all the socials are. Don't ever stop doing what you're doing. This train is just starting, Slimy. But on TikTok, we out of here. We out of here on TikTok. Now the train is just starting. We got big things for type 2 diabetes, folks. Here's what we're doing. I'm gonna tell you all the stuff I got going on. We got going on. The new book is coming out, right? The new book's coming out soon, right? It's just been turned into the editors right now. It's deep in edit stage right now. We just finalized the cover and all that stuff. Unlock your diabetes freedom in a store on the shelves near you, coming soon, right? Coming soon to some shelves near you. It's probably about I don't have an official date yet because it's in edit mode. I just gave it to the editor. So you know how it is when the editors get it. The editors get it. They send it back to you. And then you're like, nah, you guys missed something. You got to go. It's just a lot of back and forth. So once the edit stuff's done, I'm going to give an official date for the book. But yeah, I'm on all the other socials. Yeah, on all the other socials. Show you where they are. So if you click on my page, you click on all my stuff. Here's where they are. That's all. See, all my YouTubes, all that stuff's all right there. All my stuff's right there. YouTube, I think my Facebook's on there. Is my Facebook on there? Yep, Facebook and all that stuff's on there. It's on the bottom, right? Oh, no, it's actually on the top. Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff, man. That's where I will be. So tomorrow, probably be the last day your boy be on TikTok. Because like I said, the app changed a little bit and they got different guidelines. And their guideline says my content is. Couple of things I told you, a couple of things I got going on. 14-day challenge, y'all know about that. The book, Unlock Your Diabetes Freedom, coming out real soon, right? That book is going to be a monster, right? stories, people's stories. How I describe the book is like this. The book is going to be Unlock Your Diabetes Freedom for people with pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes. The book is like, it's going to be like a Stephen King novel combined with science. The Stephen King novel combined with science, combined with storytelling, all about reversing type 2 diabetes. Right? That's what it's all about. Appreciate the daily heart rate, reversing type 2 diabetes. Because here's the thing, folks. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, y'all ain't. This is gonna be the last weekend y'all see me on. But here's the thing. Type 2 diabetes. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's gonna. You can reverse the condition. You can. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. You can reverse it. Hello, does it expire if you don't start right away once you join? It never expires. The 14-day challenge never expires, right? As long as you got your login information, you go log in. And even if you forget your login information, you put your login information, you'll get in, right? And even if you say, even if that doesn't work, you can send us a message, send me a message and say, hey, I can't get into the system ever. It could be 2 years, 3 years, however long away. Send me a message. Send us a message. We'll get you in, right? So, but it lasts forever. The challenge is yours forever, right? You follow the blueprint. People join this challenge and they keep it forever. And they're like, hey, well, I just kept on eating like that. I just kept on eating like that. Everything that you taught me, bro, in this 14 days, I just keep on eating like the style of eating. I just keep on eating like this. And as a result, this is why people are losing 80 pounds. You see it here in the store, 80 pounds. I lost 100 pounds. I lost 60 pounds. I lost 36 pounds. I reversed type 2 diabetes. Like all of these stories. Like listen to these people's stories on my lives. I mean, on my page. Incredible stories. All from starting that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Starts them on their journey, right? Because they needed that kickstart. That kickstart to start them on their journey. Awesome. So happy I was sick. And now, so happy I was sick. And now I am ready. Mama C. Oh, Mama C. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. You signed up a while back. Did you do this? So you haven't done the challenge yet. You haven't done the challenge yet. What you're saying. I remember you signed up though. Mama C. I remember the name. Neuropathy is the worst. Yeah, neuropathy is the worst. Unknown caller. I never had neuropathy. When I had type 2 diabetes, I never had neuropathy. Right, but I've heard stories. Right? I've heard the stories of people who are neuropathy. But here's what neuropathy is, right? That's just all it is the energy can't get into your cells, so they don't get the nutrients that they need. So the cells, they starve. So when the cells starve, it starts in the right, starts in the nerves. They can't get the energy that they need, the fuel that they need, so they start to die out. The nerves. So that's what neuropathy is. Neuropathy is not great, right? So it's a sign that something needs to change, not now, but right now. That's what neuropathy is. Yes. I have not. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mama C. So you've got the login information, right? Was that you asking about login information? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, as long as you got your username and password, well, as long as you got the link to log in, hit the link to log in. It's all there, right? Just go log in. Go log back in and just straight up get to work. Show up, do the work, do it again the next day. At the end of those 14 days, your life's never going to be the same. Right. But shout out to y'all folks. It's Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist, man. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll tell you, we'll knock it all out. But until then, folks, follow me on all my other socials. But until then, peace out. See y'all tomorrow, 12:30 Central Time.